Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Vamos a jugar de Parable of Stanley. Y bueno, espero que les guste este video y disfrútenlo jugando. Bueno, vamos a jugar. Me han dicho que este juego es muy bueno, que hay muchos finales, que puede haber muchas cosas.
This is the story of a man
Esta es la
named
historia de un
Stanley.
hombre llamado Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room
Solo presionaba
427
botones
and he
en un
pushed
teclado.
buttons on the
Ese era su
keyboard.
trabajo.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them.
Un monitor me decía que presionar.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month.
Lo hacía
of
todos
every
los días,
year.
cada mes y cada
But although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in,
Stanley.
as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Era feliz, Stanley era feliz. Muy bien.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Algo que cambió.
Something he would never
Esto
quite
es importante,
forget.
lean los
He
subtítulos
had
y
been
lo
at
que
his
dice.
desk for nearly an hour
llevará
when
la
he
historia.
realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Sí. Se supone... ¿Dónde está el monitor que nos da las órdenes? ¿Dónde está el monitor que nos da las órdenes? No hay nada, vamos.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Nadie.
Stanley decided to go to the
Mierda,
meeting
nadie.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Porque no hay nadie. Cafecito, yo quiero cafecito. Dame cafecito. No hay cafecito. Salgamos. Ok. Se abre para adentro y para afuera. Y nos vayamos por acá. Venga. Facebook. Ok. Otro. Black Tube. Muy bien, Black Tube. Nada.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Ok.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Dice que nos vayamos a la izquierda, pero... ¿por qué hacerle caso? Es un país libre. Vamos a la derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Sí,
Perhaps he
vamos
wanted to stop by the employee
vamos a
lounge
mirar.
first, just to admire it.
Vamos a admirar la sala de reuniones. Vamos por allá.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Oh,
It
qué
had really
bonito.
been worth the detour after all,
Preciosa.
just to spend a few
La habitación
moments
es
here in this
preciosa.
immaculate, beautifully constructed
No
room.
puedo.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Sí, todo es bonito. Vamos a tomar una... Cold drinks. Número 25. Joder, Stanley, eres mi...
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
¿A la izquierda? Está muy oscuro, no, vamos a por la derecha, vamos de frente.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Stanley es bueno. No es malo, pero... ¿para qué irme por ese lado? No entiendo. De acuerdo, vamos por acá.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone
hay que
else
intentar
can
algo,
be
hagamos
difficult,
parkour,
but the
hagamos
fact
parkour.
is that the story has been...
Oh.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Solo quiero hacer lo
I
que
don't know
quiero,
how to
pero-
convince you of this, but I really do want to help
Me quiere
you,
mostrar
to
algo
show you
hermoso.
something beautiful.
Quiere mostrar porno.
Let me prove it.
No
Let
me
prove
muestres
that
porno.
I'm on your side.
Vamos, sigamos
Give me a
acá.
chance.
Una chance, te daré una chance. Pero vamos por aquí, hay que ver qué hay. Ok. No hay nada. 283, 283, 285. No puedo entrar a ningún lado.
Now listen
Dos
carefully,
cuartos.
this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, vamos por la azul.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley
No me
walked
troles.
through the red door.
No, vamos por la blue.
I still don't
What?
think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, vamos por la azul.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me
Se
stop you.
enojó, no te enojes, no te enojes.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Se enojó.
Do not think I put a lot of time into that,
Tranquilo.
because I did.
Solo es un
And in the
juego.
end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help
Ayúdame,
elucidate these
ayúdame.
strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you
puede haber
want
este
to
juego
see?
mejor?
Vehicles?
Vehículos.
Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you
No le
what,
estoy dando
let
nada.
me take a
Pero
stab
es
in the
una
dark at a
historia.
new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Hay que hacerle caso.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Bueno, démosle un 4, un 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, it was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Echemos un vistazo. Oh, ok. Ok. Stanley Parable. Lo pasó en 2 segundos el juego. Perdón. Bueno. Y nosotros estamos ahí al último. Perfecto, somos el puesto 9328. Vayamos. Hay que ver si no abre.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
What the fuck? Bueno, démosle un 5 para que no se sienta mal.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me
Este es un
boot it
nuevo
up.
juego. Vamos a verlo. Ok. Ok. Bueno, vamos a ir.
In this
What
game,
the-
the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the
¿Por qué
right,
pone un
and
bebé
if he reaches
contra
the
el
fire,
fuego?
you fail.
Enfermo.
It's a very
Enfermo.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
Creo que el mundo
I
del
think
arte
the art
realmente
world
lo
will
matará.
really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about
4 horas.
So why don't you give it
Puedo grabar
4
tan
hours
solo
of play
15
to make
minutos si
sure
quieres
it's
que juegue
effective.
4 horas.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Sálvate. Sálvate. Oh, esto es aburrido. Quémate.
You heartless bastard. Did you do
Descorazonado bastardo.
purely to spite me?
Odias a los
What's the
bebés.
matter? Well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
Solamente
I can't think
no
of a
quiero
single
estar
thing
aquí
that might
4
improve the experience
putas
for me.
horas viendo
I'm
un
not even
puto
going
bebé
to try.
llorando.
I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
A ver a dónde nos lleva. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. ¿Dónde está? What the fuck? Minecraft!
Well, Stanley, is
Minecraft!
this any better? At last, the one thing you've
Minecraft.
always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing
Un
to
juego
do with.
absolutamente
Is it enough?
Esto me gusta.
Tell
Esto
me
me
that,
gusta.
Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this.
Me
I'm done
gusta,
making
señor
things
de la
for
voz
you.
sensualona.
From
Me
now
gusta.
on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch
Construir.
this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
A construir una casa.
This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes,
Ay.
it's complete.
Joder,
I understand.
Minecraft.
Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel
Que me
ashamed at
sienta
your own
avergonzado de mi propia
inadequacy.
insuficiencia.
Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Ok. Y estoy...
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if...
Solo es
That's it.
chiquita.
We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Diamantes.
Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Ok, vamos a minar. Vamos a minar. Pero no quiero ir a minar, no me da otra opción.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No he traído luz. No hay nada de luz. Ok. Aquí no hay nada. Aquí no hay nada. Acá no hay oro. Me has estafado, aquí no hay nada de
This is far more
diamantes, no hay
open-ended
nada.
than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of
1 de
5.
5, ni siquiera de
The
diamantes
diamonds
podrían
couldn't save
salvar.
this one.
Nuevo juego.
Okay, new game.
Uy, nuevo juego. O sea, me llevó a Minecraft. Se salió completamente del juego, y me llevó a Minecraft. O sea, ¿qué mierda? ¿Qué le pasa a este tío? Bueno, vamos. Oh.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Ooh.
On fire!